Hi guys, today I wanted to share with you some of the tips I found useful whilst traveling abroad. Those tips are particularly useful for when you're going traveling to Asia or like countries such as India, Nepal, Tibet, China, or like Philippines. Small things I stumbled upon while traveling on my own, and then I thought like that would be really useful to know beforehand. So there are I've written down like several tips with regard to safety, food, health issue, sanitary issue. So I'm just going to name them. Well, the first issue, and I think that's the most important issue, well, not the most important issue, but like the most useful advice I can give you is always have a roll of toilet paper with you. In many countries, the toilets are like holes in the ground, and that's okay with me, but they will usually have, especially in countries such as China or Tibet, they would have like buckets with water filled next to it, or like cranes with like dripping water. So you would have to wash yourself. So unless you want to wash yourself, always have a paper roll with you. Then there's also an issue of water supply. In countries such as India, they usually place like an empty bucket in the shower. So in order to spare some water, you would fill the bucket and then shower with it. But actually, whenever I arrive at the hotel or hostel, like usually a hotel, like a very low budget hotel, I would fill that bucket with water instantly, and then I would know like whenever I will need the water to wash my hands, to wash my face, or flush down the toilet, I will always have the water, regardlessly whether there is any water. If you travel with a friend or like a boyfriend or girlfriend, it would be very embarrassing not to able to flush it like number 2 toilet for several hours. So always, fill that bucket with water straight ahead, like upon your arrival. Always ask the reception, are there regular times when the lights go off or the water supply is cut off? Because some hotels do it like on a regular basis to spare money, I don't know, especially when it's off season. They do it like constantly. And so like you've kind of solved the issue with water by filling up that bucket. But then it's really inconvenient whenever you arrive at a new city, at a new hotel, and you just dropped your stuff and then went out and come back to go to sleep, and the lights are off and it's like pitch black, and you don't know where anything is, and you don't know like what the room looks like, and you don't know where you left your stuff. So ask when the lights go off, and that's kind of also very important, so you would know when to charge your mobile phone, because some hotels will say, yeah, the lights go off or the electricity goes off from after 10 p.m. until 9 a.m. So if you have to leave like in the morning before 9 a.m. and you get in after 10 p.m., so you make sure you're gonna be like for an hour in the during afternoon in your room to charge your phone. But it's also important to know that like if oh, that's my cat. If like when you're gonna come back, there will be no lights. Just put your pajamas like right where you can find them and stuff. Or what I usually do is I always have my head flashlight with me, and I would always like put it like right next to the door when I come inside. So it's very convenient. You just put it on and it's like instant light, and you can you have your hands free and you can do whatever you want and unpack and stuff. So with regard to health issues, always carry a hand sanitizer with you, and I wouldn't recommend those little bottles because you run out like very quickly. And besides that, if you're traveling for a longer time, it's just inconvenient. It's just a lot of weight to carry with you. So what I usually bring with me is you have those like small paper sheets of soap in a small boxes. I think there are like 100 sheets in it, so it's enough like for a month travel. Yeah, don't eat any crisps. Like I've seen many people like especially during my group travel, eating chips and crisps. And I mean, of course I like it, but it's just so like stupid actually, because your hands are constantly dirty, and just to eat something with your hands and put it in your mouth. I mean, No wonder although those people had like diarrhea. I mean, just think about it. Don't put stuff with dirty hands in your mouth and like constantly and lick off your fingers. I would never understand it. Why would you do that unless you want diarrhea? And then also be careful, because some people, I know some people just can't help it, but some people are like used to scratch their skin, or like, you know, scratch out their zips or pimples or stuff like that. Don't do it. That's like the most dangerous method of getting sick. It's like getting germs straight into your skin or blood, even blood, and that's like you can get really, really sick from it. So try not to, you know, like press out any pimples or scratch any wounds, and like apply disinfectory alcohol right away. Well, the most important thing with regard to health issues, always carry a large bottle of water with you, like a minimal like 1 liter bottle with you. I'm not a large water drinker. Like, I don't like water. I don't know what it is. I like tea, I like different things, but I don't like water. But then, you know, it's like it's very necessary to drink a lot of water, because you can get dehydrated like very, very quick. The, you know, like the moisture of the air, I don't know how you say it, but in English, but like the moisture of the air is so bad. You'll sweat like any water you consume right away, and you wouldn't even notice it. Because when I was walking in India a lot, I wasn't even hot. Like I wasn't really warm, but then when I looked down, like I was sweating a lot on the places where I don't usually sweat, and I'm not a big sweater whatsoever. I mean, whenever I work out, I don't sweat at all, basically, and I sweated more when just walking there than when I do cardio stuff. Yeah, you're sweating so much, so before you know it, you can get dehydrated, plus the sun. Very bad for your health. You can get like really dizzy and have like constant headaches. One more advice: whenever you buy bottled water, especially in India, always check whether the cap is sealed, because it's a very common practice in India is just to buy like empty bottles and refill them with regular water and then just sell them like that. So, and that's like the tip I got from my local guide. So yeah, he would know. Always check whether the cap is sealed. Okay, so with regard to food, yeah, just be aware of the most bacteria-prone products out there, and that's especially meat. I mean, all meat products, even chicken, even fish, are like very bacteria-prone. And from what I've seen, many butchers and like meat stores are just like outside on the streets, but they don't even have refrigerators. You know, even our tour leader, who has been very cautious always, I mean, he told me like he got really, really ill once, and that was from like salmonella chicken, and he said like it was hell. And you know, the only time he's seen, you know, like people on his tours get really, really sick is from eating like bad chicken or bad meat. Also, avoid eating vegetables when you're not sure if they're washed with tapped water, with bottled water, because tapped water, especially in India, I don't know about that in China, but especially in India, tapped water is like, it's like a stream of bacteria like coming in your glass. And so whatever, you know, like don't use anything that has to do with tapped water. So washed vegetables, ice cubes, I've told you before, don't use it. And actually, it's very normal to ask in India when you're in a restaurant eating, were the vegetables washed with tapped water or bottled water, or other ice cubes with bottled water, and it's very normal. And of course, I mean, you can never trust them completely, so you have to check it out on the spot. But you know, asking is very normal there. I've seen many people ask regularly, like, is it bottled water or tapped water washed? Yeah, and just, you know, like, be aware. I mean, if you're like a very difficult eater, I mean, they don't have a lot of like bread and stuff like that like we used to in Europe, so you won't have like many sandwiches or stuff. And if there are sandwiches, they're like so gross. It would be like literally like I mean, I had this, like, I was so glad once that I could order a sandwich somewhere, and I ordered it, and it was like a piece of white bread that was like kind of soaked and kind of like mushy squishy, and then there were like 3 pieces of cucumber on it, and then again a stick of bread, and this was like a vegetable sandwich. I mean, they just don't get the concept of sandwiches. They think like if you put like 3 wet pieces of cucumber between like two bread pieces and it will get like really squishy. It's somehow tasty, I don't know, but it's like, it was really gross. But I would definitely recommend to use and eat like wheat products, like pancakes and cakes, stuff like that. It's always like very safe. So I've ordered like a lot of pancakes. I mean, of course, they're not as good as here. I mean, sometimes they're not tasty at all, but it fills your stomach and gives you, you know, some kind of satisfaction, and it's 100% safe. So, and well, so, you know, I kind of talk about what not to eat during your travels. So one thing you should definitely eat, and it's very safe, and I mean, like 99% safe, is rice and noodles. I mean, I think that's like the safest food to eat during your travels. And whether you're in India or whether you're in China, rice and noodles are very safe, especially when you take like egg noodles or like vegetable rice. It's kind of tasty as well. So I would usually like have in the breakfast like peeled fruit like banana or sometimes an apple, or a pancake, for example. And then in the lunch I would have like a large warm meal of rice, like vegetable rice, because yeah, it's, you know, it's good for you. It's safe, it's healthy, and yeah, it's good quality. And it's no matter where you go. Like I've been in like the shadiest just hotels ever in my life, and still the rice was really tasty and really good, and I didn't have any problems with my stomach. And then in the evening I would have like a large portion of noodles, and then with an egg or maybe like some teriyaki sauce, and then it would make it more like an Asian like spicy meal. So yeah. But then again, I mean, if you want to try local cuisine, I mean, of course you should. I've tasted like several dishes myself just to know what local cuisine is and how it tastes like. But then just make sure to go to places where you see like many people sitting outside, and especially locals, and you know the quality is good and the food is usually fresh because it sold out quickly. And when, you know, like I've been to places like there were maybe like 2 restaurants or 3 restaurants, and then just go inside and just wait and see what other people get, because there wouldn't like be an English menu or whatever, like all Chinese signs, and then just wait until someone orders, and then just like, you know, call the waiter or the waitress, and then just, you know, just choose the dish you like the most from whoever ordered, you know, and then just point at it and just like, one for me, you know, and then they'll understand it. I mean, and I've done it like so many times. Just one other thing, if you're in major cities, they would usually have like some kind of fast food, and I mean, it sounds crazy, and I'm like a big health freak, not freak, but I like healthy eating. I don't usually eat fast food, but seriously, like when traveling there, sometimes it's a good thing to eat at a fast food restaurant. Even like French fries, it's still, you know, way safer for your stomach than some curries. So of course you can go ahead and try different foods at different restaurants, and I mean, you could do that if you're traveling like for a week, because then if you like get really ill at the end of your holiday, you can just go home and recover. But if you have to travel like for 4 weeks and you have to go on and move on and participate actively every day, then your stomach issues can be very, yeah, uncomfortable, you know, for that. You have to think smart, and you know, just don't be careless about it. So like my third issue is safety. Well, I have many tips with regard to safety, but I'll try to kind of summarize it a bit. Yeah, my number one safety tip. Well, there are many actually, but my number one: always take the business card at the reception. Just right like at your check-in, always take the business card and put it right in your wallet, because in many countries they don't speak English, and the names of the hotels are like that long with all different like signs. And especially it's especially especially when doing group travels, because of course if you're traveling on your own, then you research it all, you know, like beforehand, and you have all the notes with you. But when you do group travel, sometimes you arrive somewhere and then like, we will leave tomorrow morning, and you don't even know like in which hotel you arrived, because you've never heard about it, and then tomorrow you go anyway. And then it's especially important to take a business card, because then you'll decide, oh, I'll go for a walk this evening or this morning, like to see what the city is about before I leave. And then you go ahead and you go out and you think, oh, I'll just go around the block, and then everything looks the same, and you'll just get lost, and you don't have the name of the hotel, nobody speaks English, and you can get a cab and just say, I want to go there and there, because you don't know where you have to go. And even worse, your mobile phone is empty, or and you have nobody to call, so you can get lost like very easily. So always have like the address of the hotel with you, and and not just in English, just like in the local language. Another like very big like safety issue for yourself is of course to have your phone charged all the time, or like have a solar charger with you, because without a mobile phone you'll be lost. Like seriously, if something happens, you'll be screwed. So definitely have a always charged phone. And I actually usually carry like 2 phones with me, because I'm a big Instagram photographer. I do a lot of photography with my iPhone, so I actually have an iPhone for photography, and then I also have like a normal mobile phone just to call. And like the battery on the iPhone is crap anyway, so I wouldn't recommend traveling with an iPhone, and not in terms like of safety of someone stealing it, because you can always keep it like very safe next to you, but it just, the battery dies really quick, and it's not the safest thing when traveling. So I would always have like an old Nokia that goes like 3 days without charging. Also really recommend is whenever carrying a day backpack with you, always have it on a lock, always, because people would try so many times just to open your backpack when you're walking on the market or in busy street, and then take things out. I think a friend of mine had actually like 5 or 6 times that somebody tried to steal something from my backpack, and like her lock really saved it. So I have like a good quality lock. I always have like this lock with combination keys. I mean, not the keys, but like the combination numbers, because you can lose the keys easily, and then you just wouldn't be able to open. And I think the number keys, the things are like the best. And like another major safety tip is don't ask locals or people, or like taxi cab drivers, to take you somewhere they think is a good restaurant or a good shop, or just don't let them recommend you places, because I think that's the most dangerous thing you can do. Just let a stranger take you whenever they want, wherever they want, without knowing you where you're going. And because we actually been in a situation like that once, when a friend of ours wanted a massage, and like an authentic massage. I think we were in Nepal then, and we were like me, my friend, and then the male friend who wanted the massage. And we asked our tuk-tuk driver, who was very, very nice to us and very helpful, and we kind of had a connection with him. So we were like very comfortable with him, and like we were very comfortable with him. We were very, very friendly, and it was like he was like our instant friend, I don't know. So at the end of the day, after like hanging with him around like for 8 hours or something, we asked him like, our friend wants to have an authentic massage, do you know like a good salon? And he said, yeah, sure, I'll take you, a friend of mine does it. And then it was like the stupidest thing we could ever do, because we were driving like for half an hour, and then it was like a busy street with cars, and then like a side street, and then a side street, and then side street, and at the end we were somewhere where no car, where you didn't even hear cars, and there were like not many people at all, and it was like all construction buildings side, and the only people you saw were like the Indian builders, and they were like all looking at us like, what are you doing here? And all like stopped working and just were looking at us. And we were like, we don't even know where we are, and like there are 3 of us, but like 2 girls and 1 gay boy, so we weren't like like big men or something, and we don't know where we are, and it's very remote, very, very remote. So if anything would happen, nobody would even hear us scream or know where we are. And so we walked up towards the building, and it was like a construction building. It wasn't even finished yet, like the top floor was still going on, and there was no signs or posters whatsoever. And then he just told, just go straight ahead and upstairs, and there's the massage salon. But it was like building and construction, and oh, it was so scary, and like we all started to kind of like chicken out, and but you know, there was no way back, because you can't go back on your own. You don't know where you are. You have to make sure the cab driver brings you back, but so you have to play nice and go along. And so we walked upstairs, and then we had to knock on a door, and the door opened, and there were like 5 men inside, all staring at us. And oh my god, that's like, I think the only thing I really like felt uncomfortable during all of my travels. So we walked inside, because we all realized we can get back on our own. We all get inside, and then thankfully we saw one woman coming towards us, and they said like, this is a family business and all the men run the business and the finances, so they will register you, and then you know, the females did the massages. So our male friend decided to have a massage anyway, because you know, the driver kind of, you know, expected a tip as well from his family. I think it was his family as well. So he, you know, he was looking like kind of business-like immediately, not as friendly anymore. So our male friend kind of had to take the massage, but then he went away with the female, and then we had to sit in the kind of living room with my friend, and she had like a very short shorts, and I think that's not just only like disrespectful, but well, I mean, I think that day we were supposed to go like, we weren't really supposed to go into local things, just like the usual sightseeing, and it was really hot, so I can imagine why she did it. And she was kind of young. I mean, anyway, it doesn't really matter, but she also had a scarf with her, you know, like to put it on as a skirt whenever we you know, went to the temples and stuff. But she had like kind of not like hot pants, but kind of above the knee shorts, and so we were sitting there, and like around us we were like 5 men, like our cab driver, a friend of his, and like 3 family members, and they were all like looking at us like that. And sometimes I would catch a glimpse of someone looking at her knees, and then back at us, and I felt so uncomfortable, like you wouldn't imagine. So we said, yeah, we just gonna walk around and wait until you're finished, and then come back and pick you up. So we did that, and we went outside, and we just, you know, somewhere we heard some cars, so we thought like, we'll just go to like a busy street and then just walk around there and wait. So we did that, and that's not the smartest thing to do either, because when you're in India and you're 2 girls with 2 expensive backpacks, or I mean not expensive, but with 2 backpacks, walking alongside the road, like every other cab driver or just a regular car driver would stop over and ask, hey girls, like where are you going to go, and what are you doing here? And you just have to walk across. But if you're too arrogant or too, you know, like if you're just ignoring them, they would get irritated as well. So you don't have to do that as well, but don't be overly friendly. But then when you walk, even like if you walk across the shops, I mean, we were in such a remote area that like even all the local stores, men came outside to look at us, and it was like kind of uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. And then we walked back, and it was like kind of very creepy as well, because you weren't sure what we were going to, because we had to walk back to this remote building, you know, but we had to pick up our friend and to go back to the hotel. So we went there, and fortunately everything, you know, was all right, and fortunately we got back safe at the hotel. But you know, you just want to avoid, you know, situations like that. So don't ever ask anyone to go somewhere on their recommendations. Even if you're very friendly and comfortable with the person, you still don't know where he's going to take you. So if something goes wrong, you wouldn't know how to get back. So don't be dependent upon locals, even if you think they're very, very friendly. Just always be sure where you are and where you're going. So that's like my also very important advice for safety. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, of course, I have like many different tips and advices. So if you want to learn more, or if you want to hear more about like what I carry usually in my daily backpack, or what do I pack to go traveling, or how to blend in with the locals, or I can do many more videos. Like, I think, yeah. Now I'm just rambling, but thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of my traveling videos with advice and tips, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.